who helped me co-write. I have to change the whole tense of this, and it's making me tense. Hey roomies, thanks for clocking in. This is Paul Anderson with the Break Room Arcade, welcoming you back for another great episode of the Busy Gamer Guide. To start things off, I know what you're wondering. What is the Busy Gamer Guide? It's pretty easy to get an opinion on whether or not a game is good before you buy it. However, it's a lot harder to find out if a game will fit into your schedule. Thankfully, you never have to buy blind again, because the Busy Gamer Guide is here to help you out. For the sake of transparency, the Break Room Arcade was given a copy of Bomber Crew from our friends at Curve Digital to review for the Nintendo Switch. So unfortunately for me, that copy went to Brandon, who helped me co-write this review. Don't worry though, my opinion will not be swayed because I still had to buy a copy. What is Bomber Crew? According to Steam, Bomber Crew is a strategic simulation game where picking the right crew and keeping your bomber in tip-top shape is the difference between completing your mission or losing it all. Bomber Crew is set in World War II, and big surprise, you control the crew of a bomber aircraft. To progress through the campaign, you can choose from various missions that range in risk and duration. Higher risk and longer missions usually nab you more pay and intel, which can be used to upgrade your plane. After a few missions, you'll unlock a critical mission. To my knowledge, there are 8 critical missions in the campaign. This is where the game really steps up the difficulty, so it might be worth taking a few extra missions to beef up your crew. Your crew consists of 7 soldiers: the pilot, navigator, engineer, radio operator, bomber, and 2 gunners. There are a lot of variables to manage, though it gets easier the more missions you succeed. Try not to get too attached to your crew, and don't spend all your money upgrading your plane. In the 5 hours that I've played of Bomber Crew, I've gotten my entire crew killed 5 or 6 times. It wasn't the end of the world, but it was a bit of a setback. Where can I play Bomber Crew? Bomber Crew is available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PC, Mac, and Linux. I want to note that Bomber Crew was originally developed for PC and later ported to home consoles. I personally played Bomber Crew on PC. After comparing my experience with that of Brandon's on the Nintendo Switch, we came to the conclusion that the game is probably best played on PC. The game's user interface was originally developed for keyboard and mouse, and it shows. You click on a crew member and then click on what you want them to interact with, and this style of management controls didn't translate well to controller. Don't get me wrong, you can get the job done with the controller, but it'll take more time to get used to it. If you have the option, definitely play this on computer. How much does it cost? Bomber Crew costs $15 for the base game. For $25, you can get the game and the Season Pass, which includes a $5 to $6 Secret Weapons DLC and another unrevealed mission pack. On PC, you can also get a $2 skin pack and the soundtrack for $5. I haven't gotten the chance to try out the DLC, so I can't say if it's worth it to get the Season Pass quite yet, but the option to buy it later is always there. How long does it take to beat? According to HowLongToBeat.com, it takes a respectable 14 hours to beat Bomber Crew's story. It'll also take 21 hours for 100% completion. I take these numbers with a grain of salt though. They're based on very few players' results, and I feel that it could easily take less time. At the time of writing, I'm about 5 hours deep, and I'm only just now getting ready to take on the second critical mission of 8. Most of that time was spent doing extra missions to upgrade my plane. You could easily get through critical missions in less time. Brandon had done enough missions by the time he passed the first critical mission that he unlocked the second one automatically. What does a play session look like? From what I've played, most missions usually take about 20 minutes or less. The nice thing about Bomber Crew is it's great for short play sessions. If you only have 10 or 15 minutes, you can fly most missions to completion. If you want something to sit with for a few hours, I was able to stay engaged long enough to play many missions back to back. It's an easy game to pick your cutoff point and set the game down when you need to. There's also a robust customization menu for your bomber that allows you to upgrade your plane and style it to your liking. It's easy to get lost tricking your bomber out, so if you're in a hurry, focus on just upgrading. At the start of a mission, you select your pilot and give him the takeoff command. Shortly after takeoff, a navigation marker should pop up. By switching to free view and keeping that marker in the reticle for a few seconds, you'll change headings. It's a good idea to switch back to crew view, select your pilot, and raise the landing gear. You can complete missions with them down, but you'll burn through gas a lot faster. To help speed things up, the game has a fast forward button that you can use while you're in safe airspace. This helps you get to the action a lot quicker. From there, I usually select the navigator, so I can focus on the next waypoint and get to my target. As my crew approaches the target, I get the bomber into bombing position. Once he's ready, it's time to open the bomb doors and select which bomb or bombs you want to drop. In the bomber menu, you get a reticle view of everything directly underneath the plane. When you see the target in this reticle, you press the button to release your bomb. Depending on the mission, there may be several targets to bomb, so use your bomb sparingly. Usually when you're within range of the target, enemy fighters are scrambled to take you down. Green dots will appear thanks to the radar to indicate the location of enemy fighters. By switching to free view and keeping the enemy fighters in the reticle for a few seconds, you get them marked for your gunners to start fighting back. I usually ignore enemy fighters until I've destroyed my first target. Once you've bombed all the targets, close the bomb doors and get your bomber back to his turret. At this point, it's all about marking enemy fighters, activating skills such as your pilot's corkscrew, and fixing damage caused by enemy fire. All the while, you need to keep highlighting waypoints to navigate home. If you make it back to your country's airspace, any enemies pursuing you turn back home. From there, keep navigating to the home airstrip. Once you have it marked, lower your landing gear and finish your mission successfully. Word of advice from someone who's gotten many crew members killed: keep a fire extinguisher at the front and back of the plane. I've crashed my plane 3 times due to fires on both sides of the fire extinguisher, preventing my crew from putting out the fire. Also, again, don't get too attached to your crew. What happens if a session gets cut short? Should your battery die in the middle of a session, you won't get set back very far. Bomber crew saves automatically after missions, so should your play session end unexpectedly, there are little consequences. The most time you'll lose is the 10 to 20 minutes you invested into the current mission. Can I play with friends or family? Bomber Crew is a single player game, but it's a fun game to watch and pass off the controller. Bomber Crew is rated E10+, so it's suitable for most audiences. However, it does depict war violence. Even if it's in a cartoony style, it may still be unsuitable for young children to watch or play. My opinion. The time I've spent with Bomber Crew has been both fun and frustrating. The more time I spent with each crew, the more it hurt when I ultimately lost them. On several occasions, sending crew members to a first aid kit or fire extinguisher would result in my crew standing in place. Many casualties could have been avoided if not for an unresponsive crew. Outside of cabin fires, every successful mission was a blast. If you spend too much time in between critical missions, you will likely see how repetitive the mission structure can be. However, sometimes they throw in a curveball in the form of an enemy rival. Even though I had flown certain mission types many times, I still found them enjoyable. This might not be the greatest game I've ever played, but I did solidly enjoy myself while playing. I picked it up during a Steam sale for $7, and it was a great buy in my opinion. Even if you pay the full $15, you can easily get your money's worth out of it. My recommendation: for the first time in Busy Gamer Guide's very short history, I'm able to give a game a solid recommendation to all you busy gamers out there. The missions are short enough to accommodate a short break, but they're fun enough to keep you playing for several hours. Regardless of what your schedule looks like, Bomber Crew will snugly fit into even the smallest opening. Even if you're looking for a longer game, the $15 price point for Bomber Crew is still going to give you a pretty solid return on investment. With that, I'd like to thank you guys for watching this episode of the Busy Gamer Guide. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if there's a game you want to see featured on the Busy Gamer Guide, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Quick shout out to our patrons, Devin and Santiago. You guys are awesome. If you like the Break Room Arcade and want to help us out, be sure to check out our Patreon or consider sharing this video with the busy gamers in your life. Until next time, don't break your backs, break in the games. But for now, break time's over.